Hello. We are streaming. Today it is Feeding Frenzy 2 Shipwreck Showdown. In keeping with the theme of casual games from my youth centered around mass consumption, which are sequels. A very specific and yet... I mean... if I had a nickel for every time there was a casual game based around mass consumption that was a sequel, based in the casual market, I'd only have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened more than once. Yes, this is Feeding Frenzy 2, another game that was integral to my childhood, watching older adults play casual games in the early 2000s. And it was the new hotness, if I remember correctly, because Feeding Frenzy was very popular, and then Feeding Frenzy 2 came out, and it was amazing. This, I believe, was made by PopCap. I sure hope so, because if it wasn't, I'm gonna be very embarrassed. But PopCap was like this really big casual game company in the 2000s. They're most known now for being the creators of Plants vs. Zombies. But they also made a bunch of other popular games like Bejeweled, Zuma, I want to say it was called. It had a frog and you shot marbles out of its mouth, as well as Feeding Frenzy. You know, a lot of very popular casual games that you could purchase online, and they were very big into demos. They would usually release free versions of their game with limited features, and then you could purchase them to get all the features, and that was a really popular thing that they did. So imagine a game that's already like really cheap, and you can get a free version of it as well. Very popular practice. Maybe if I check the credits, it'll tell me. Yep, the whole PopCap team. It takes a load off of my mind to know that I got it right. Anyway, we should get started. The sandy shoal, time to get your fins wet. Meet Boris the butterfly fish. Boris lives in the warm wattles of the sandy shoal, a beautiful area off the Frenzy coast. Enjoy the sights, but don't get too comfortable. A fish still needs his lunch, and it's a fish-eat-fish world out there. How to play. Use your mouth to control Boris. Eat fish that are smaller than you. Avoid anything that's larger than you. Eat enough fish and you'll grow bigger. So yeah, this is the whole game. Like, it's very simple. It is a casual game, so it's incredibly simple. All you have to do is move your mouse around to look for fish, and then you move up to them, and you eat them. And you just eat enough to get big enough to, eat other fish.
Feeding Frenzy.
Feeding Frenzy. Oh, I remember these sound effects so well.
Double Frenzy.
I remember these stock sound effects so well.
Triple Frenzy.
And if you eat a lot of them in a row, you get a frenzy, which gets you more points. It's very simple, but also very compelling.
Frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
And if you're asking, hey, does the resolution get any better? No, it does not. This game was made in 2006. Does the volume get any adjustment? There are no volume adjustments in this game. Why aren't you playing the first version of this game? Feeding Frenzy 1 is not available. Oh, I remember this too! There's like the mermaid, and you have to like eat the stuff off of her tail for extra points. Oh, and it gives you like sea facts at the end of the thing. Oh, I'm getting hit with nostalgia here. The humphead wrasse can change sex from female to male. What an icon. Yet another game where I cannot go into the Steam menu to turn it off, so I hope you like seeing my friends go in and out of video games. Watch for starfish. Tasty starfish have been floating around these parts. Grab a starfish bowl for extra points. And you can also dash. It doesn't last long, but it might help you get a top spot. So this is also like, I believe I had mentioned this when we were doing Diner Dash a few days ago, but
Feeding Frenzy.
in a lot of these casual games, they'll introduce something like every new level or every couple of levels, like a new mechanic or a new thing you have to look out for. So they just added a dash mechanic as well as the starfish for bonus points.
Triple Frenzy. Super Frenzy.
Stuff like that was like very emblematic of the games of this time period, because the game at its core is not essentially complicated. You move your mouse and you do things, so you have to expand upon it to keep players interested. And that's a big shark. You have to avoid that, because no matter what, I don't think you can eat them. I think you can eat them later, in later levels, but not yet.
Mega Frenzy.
This game has lives? I completely forgot that. I am in like a post video games with lives world. So I just like it just blew my mind that this game has lives at all. Like, boxfish are voracious eaters. When kept in captivity, they need both green and meaty foods on a regular basis. They sound like squares. That's my best joke. Anyway. Now that you're warmed up, it's time to get your frenzy on. Eat fish quickly to fill up the frenzy meter. Each time you fill up the frenzy multiplier increases, and everything you eat is worth more points. Try to reach the mega frenzy for 6 times points. Frenzy boost. Look out for special frenzy boost power-ups. Eat a frenzy booster to fill up the frenzy meter in a single chomp. So this is basically how the game you are good at this game. You avoid a lot of stuff, you don't get eaten, and you do it fast. To maintain your combo. Your feeding frenzy. Your ultra combo. Your combo breaker.
Double Frenzy. Triple Frenzy.
I don't know anything about what was it, Ultra Instinct?
Super
Other than
Frenzy.
the Ultra Combo! That's my favorite. Anyway.
Mega Frenzy.
I like to think that this game is like a metaphor for the rat race as a whole. We eat and we eat and we eat. We eat our friends, we eat our family, we eat everything in the pursuit of greater goals, greater power, greater finance. But in the end, there's some things you will never be able to eat. And it will never be enough. Our hunger will never be satiated. No matter how much we eat, no matter how many starfish we consume, no matter how much we consume, we will never be big enough. Our hunger will never be satiated. We have to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and it will never be enough. Our consumption is not good enough. Really, a cynical view of capitalism as a whole, when you think about it. More than 90% of the Pacific herring caught by the commercial fishing industry is used for their roe, or eggs. Herring eggs found on kelp are also harvested commercially. Bonus stage. I remember these too. You have to try to eat 100 fish before the time runs out. I can probably do that.
Feeding Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Triple Frenzy. Super Frenzy.
I wanted to try
Mega
playing the first
Frenzy.
of these games, Feeding Frenzy 1, but one, it's not on Steam, and after that I completely give up. I guess, games are on no other platforms. But also, I don't remember a whole lot about Feeding Frenzy 1. I distinctly remember Feeding Frenzy 2, and that's about it. I remember this game distinctly. I don't remember a whole lot about Feeding Frenzy 1.
Mega Frenzy.
Easy. Another thing that really drew me to this game was that after spending, I think, an unironic 2 hours beating a single stage in, Diner Dash not yesterday, but a few days ago, I was like, I want a casual game to play you know, to be nostalgic and to expand upon the ideas of the casual market in the 2000s, but I also want to be able to play most of it. That would be good. I think this game is easier. What are they doing here? These humphead rats don't usually venture this close to the coast. This friendly little show is getting a bit crowded. And then it introduces extra lives. It also varies up the kind of stuff you get to eat. Another mechanic is that, like, the fish will eat the kind of fish you want to eat.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Double friendly.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
And it, like, gives you some sort of revenge satisfaction. It's like,
Mega
oh, do you
frenzy.
remember those lionfish from earlier? Well, you can eat them now. Whoops.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Double.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
It's about at this point in the level where it's
Mega
kind of a
frenzy.
victory lap. You just have to watch out for sharks. What, no mermaid that time? Oh, you might only get the mermaid if you do it without dying. To allow it to expand, the stomach of a pufferfish is pilated, like a Scottish kilt. Oh, like plated? Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced? With all these new guests in the sandy shoal, it's time to start heading towards some shallower waters. Maybe things will be a little more peaceful down in Paradise Reef. Sometimes oysters open to reveal hidden treasures. Grab them quick, or you'll be caught in the act. Alright. I do remember something distinctly about PopCap games back in the day is that their sound design was, like, middling. Like,
Feeding
if you'll
frenzy.
notice here, the sound effects are kind of like stock. They sound like they come directly from a sound library. And that may
Double
just be an
frenzy.
effect of them, like, having a limited budget. You know, they only have, like, so much money to make this game. So they're like, oh, we can't do a whole much for
Triple
the
frenzy.
overall sound design. So they're like, okay,
Super frenzy.
we have to use a variety of sound, like, stock sound effects.
Mega frenzy.
Oh no! I got clammed.
Feeding frenzy.
You never think it'll happen to you. You never think you'll be caught in the act. You hate to see it. Hold on a moment. Let me pull up the stream, just in case. Hey there. Feeding Frenzy is a classic? It is a classic. I don't see a lot of people play it though, because I'm not sure they know it exists. I think it's like a game where like it's left the popular consciousness of like games that existed. The pier is a great place to catch some snacks. If you're going to have to work for it, try to catch all the bugs on the level before the time runs out. How to jump. Swim towards the water surface. When you are right at the surface, click the left mouse button to dash, and then you'll jump. I remember these levels.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
I remember like one of the big joys as a kid, like this is back before anybody like, or like I had any conception of like what a game mechanic was or anything like that. It was like just the incentive of seeing like what the next bug or like the next fish was going to be or the next like level is gonna look like. That was kind of all that really mattered. Like, it didn't matter if the gameplay changed at all, or if there's like any new thing happening. It was more like, way more about like, what cool new fish am I gonna unlock today? It was like a way more innocent time for just playing games, because like I think like when you're younger, your conception of like what you find important in a video game is just like way different. Then again, I played a lot less games back then. A leopard shark has taken up residence under the pier. What's he doing here? Something strange must be going on to cause all this commotion. Keep your eyes peeled for anything out of the ordinary, and make sure to avoid that shark. If I remember correctly, for like most of the game, sharks are like your main priority to avoid.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Noble for
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I don't like the way that you kind of get magnetized to their mouth sometimes. That one is on me. That one is 100% my fault.
Feeding frenzy.
Leopard shark is my favorite kind of shark, for real, because they can grow to be 6 feet, which is crazy.
Double frenzy.
6 feet. That seems kind of like small for a shark, but maybe it's just because like
Triple frenzy.
I want to hit one someday. I think that
Triple
like
frenzy.
tiger sharks are like one of the less aggressive ones. I don't know.
Triple frenzy.
When you hear about shark attacks, it's always like great whites or something like that. Tiger sharks are the smaller ones that kind of hang around in reefs, I think. I'm not a marine biologist, don't quote me on that.
Super
I did take a
frenzy.
marine biology course once, and it was very depressing, because
Mega
our marine
frenzy.
biology course was run by this guy from New Zealand, who... Oh, plot. Fish-based plot. In the wild, green triggerfish are loners. It is difficult to keep more than one triggerfish in the same aquarium because they will fight one another. Yeah, so like, something that happens in this game is like, you unlock new fish, and they have new mechanics. And it's done all to spice up the gameplay and stuff like that. Rumors have spread about the mysterious creature that Boris spotted on the way here. Layla, the resident queen triggerfish, has decided to investigate. Maybe the appearance of this stranger has something to do with everyone's nasty mood. So we can now inhale fish in front of us. As a new mechanic. But I did take a marine biology course in community college.
Feeding frenzy.
And
Double frenzy.
it was kind of depressing because it was held by this guy from New Zealand who used to be like a person who would go to like New Zealand like Congress or like the New Zealand law,
Triple frenzy.
and they would basically petition the government to... They would petition against fishing companies in New Zealand to be like, hey,
Double frenzy.
please stop overfishing, because he would go. He was a marine biologist. He would go to.
Super Frenzy.
I'm trying to explain
Mega
it.
Frenzy.
I was a little distracted. But like he would go to like the legislature and be all like,
Frenzy.
"Hey, we need to protect our oceans. We need to protect the fish in the ocean." And the people who would be against him would be like the fishing companies who would be like, "We want to fish in the national parks, basically." And he said the reason why he became a marine biology teacher was because after spending like a decade trying to convince the New Zealand government to stop letting fishing companies fish in protected waters, he got so depressed at his lack of progress, he was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna teach kids. It was really sad. And I kind of felt the impact of ecological collapse when the oldest leopard shark on record was a male that reached 24 years of age. I kind of felt the ecological collapse. A barracuda has been spotted cruising the reef. Watch for warning signs and keep away from its gaping maw. If you're feeling really lucky, try biting its tail. Bite it 4 times and you're in for a special surprise if you survive that long.
Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy.
I really felt the way
Triple Frenzy.
the like local ecology was collapsing when I don't remember if this was also in marine biology or not. It may have been like in a completely different class, but we were assigned to like dissect certain marine creatures, right? I was not lucky. And one of them was like a starfish, and
Double Frenzy.
yeah, I'll see you, WRST. I don't know how you would pronounce that.
Double Frenzy.
And it would be like,
Triple Frenzy.
oh, that sucks up the big guys too. Oh, I need to be careful with that.
Eating
So anyway,
Frenzy.
to get to this rambling story's conclusion, we had to dissect a starfish, and the starfishes were like, normally we bring in starfishes from the local area, but we can't do that right now on account of the fact that there's been a wasting disease created by pollution in like the local river's ecosystem,
Eating Frenzy.
the local ocean's ecosystem, so we literally cannot gather any starfish because they've all been dying. And it's like, oh, I guess we cannot dissect starfish for that reason. It's too polluted. And I remember we were supposed to like we went out to like the docks and we looked under the docks for like barnacles and other sea creatures, but it was just so like the water was so brown and murky you couldn't see it very well. And it was like, okay, can you tell me what you saw? And it's like, not really. It's like, because it was like either so polluted, and on that day in particular it was also like, it was like the might of God was raining that day, so I couldn't see anything underneath like the torrential rain that was going on. Butterfly fish become inactive at night. As they hide themselves away for the evening, their bright day colors turn paler. Magic mushrooms. Fight back. There are a lot of big fish around here, but you've got the power to fight back. The Shrink Shroom power-up gives you the chance to show those big bullies who's boss. It's the Shrink Shroom. It's like a reverse mushroom from Mario. Alright. There are some problems with this game having a low default resolution setting and no option to change it. Such as I'm bad, and I'm going to blame it.
Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
This is where the inherent difficulty of the game comes from. When you get to the later levels and like you don't really have
Feeding frenzy.
where you don't really have the ability to
Double frenzy.
eat that much because you have to be more dodging things than eating. So your combo ability is severely limited.
Triple
Like,
frenzy.
it becomes way more about ducking and weaving, I think. Like right now, there's just nothing here. Like,
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Mega Frenzy Ultra Combo.
Mega frenzy.
Now it's going a lot better. Stage clear. But I can see it just fine. A jellyfish is 98% water. And 2%, I guess that makes the other 2% jelly and fish, respectively. So what they're introducing now is a speed boost type bubble. This is another bonus stage, you could see.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
We'll get you.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Oh, I thought there was another fish here, but it must have been a red
Mega
herring.
frenzy.
But tish. It didn't take long for others to discover this morsel-filled wreck, and now that it's more crowded in here, the pickings are a little slim. You'll need to find some hardy prey to keep yourself alive. Keep your eyes peeled for the extremely rare golden herring. The golden herring are extremely difficult to catch, but if you get one, you instantly grow to the next size. When food is scarce, it may be the only way to grow. You know, thinking about it,
Feeding frenzy.
this game has some questionable ideas about evolution. Alright.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Like, I don't know if fish just get bigger like this. Like, big enough to eat
Super frenzy.
fish that
Mega
size.
frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Well, I was lucky.
Mega
Why would you put
frenzy.
that there? There's no way I could possibly get there.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Mega friendly.
Mega frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
It's not very difficult to keep up combos when there's just
Mega
herring everywhere
frenzy.
and kind of fall into your mouth.
Mega Frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
I hope no one is irritated by the crunching sound effect, because I assure you, it's not going anywhere. Marine mystery. That shipwreck hasn't been here for too long. Come to think of it, there have been a lot of sunken ships showing up around Frenzy Coast lately. What could be causing them? A storm? Pirates? Broken navigational systems? There's no punchline. I can't think of anything. The sightings of a strange sea creature have been reported from an undersea cave in east of Parasite Reef. Time to head towards deeper waters and see if we can learn anything. Objective is to survive.
Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Triple Frenzy. Super Frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
You know things get real when the objective is to survive. Like...
Mega Frenzy.
What I find interesting about the art design in this game is like how some of these yeah, the mermaid must only come if you do it without dying. Like some of the images in this game are very clearly like pixelated. Like the herring are very clearly pixelated sort of graphics, but some of them are more cartoony and like it just feels like the resolution of some of the graphics are better than others. Like, while most other fish are cold-blooded, great white sharks use a heat exchange system in their blood vessels to keep their body temperature warmer than that of the surrounding water. I didn't have to fight anything, or survive anything. Time for a breath of fresh air before heading out to the deep water caves. More bug-catching bonus action.
Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Triple Frenzy.
Oh, this is easy. Oh my god, that truck in the background, it's I know it's supposed to be cartoony, but it looks so goofy. It's just the goofiest little truck. Like, I don't know, some of these fish look like weirdly detailed, and then it's just the most child drawing-ass truck. Like, they're really making me work for like these last 10 bugs. As a former game tester, I can tell you I'm pretty good at catching bugs. Get up there! Doing some real sicko flips right there. Plankton Polisher. Mr. Krabs, have you come in to polish me? I can't do a good Plankton voice. Oh, I remember these. The landmines. Yeah, so there's going to be landmines now that we have to avoid along with everything else.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
And naturally, as you get bigger, they become more difficult to avoid. See what you will about, like, the way that casual games constantly introduce things. It's an effective strategy. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you... It spices things up. It takes, like, a concept that has, like, maybe... It gives legs to a concept that doesn't necessarily have a lot of running ability.
Eating frenzy.
It's that silhouette again. An old friend. Congratulations, you reached Hunter's Caverns. Layla's hunch was right. The shadowy sea creature was headed towards Hunter's Cavern. Now that she tracked him down, it's time to let some local talent take over. These caves are dark and dangerous, but Eddie the Angler will light the way. Deep-water jellyfish live in these caves. Try not to touch them. If you get too close, their poisonous sting will stun you for a few seconds. Lucky thing is, they will stun Predator as well. I think it's called an old friend because I believe this was one of the fish you could play as in Fishing Frenzy 1. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's why it's called that. And you inherit all of the abilities of your predecessors. And this one's cool because he has a big mouth and he's green, and that's my favorite color.
Eating frenzy.
I think he was like my favorite back in the day.
Eating frenzy.
I wonder if we can get a good angle on him.
Eating frenzy.
It's not a bad joke if you say it's a bad joke after you make the bad joke. Then it becomes an ironically good joke, right? Right?
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy.
Double français.
Double frenzy.
Oh, I also remember from marine biology class, we ended up reading this book about, like, how basically all of the commercial fish in the world are being, like, out overfished and destroyed, and how commercial feeding, like fish and breeding efforts haven't been done so well because like obviously fish like that aren't really meant to be bred in a captive capacity. They're meant to be like, you know, they're meant to be bred in the wild, and they're being like, it's like, well, we need to keep like creating salmon, we need to keep creating tuna, but like the commercial market for it is way too big, that sort of thing. Oh boy. I'm confident people can make things better for the oceans and stuff like that, but I think they also gotta try, and they gotta want it too. Delving deeper. So far, no sign of the strange creature. Perhaps he's even gone deeper to avoid our pursuit. Things are dark enough here. The place called the Twilight Zone of the sea. If we proceed any further, we'll be in the treacherous Midnight Zone, a depth where no sunlight can penetrate.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Double frenzy. It's kind of interesting from a game design perspective, like how this is a sort of disaster of your own making kind of game. Where like a lot of times, like just then for instance, the failure comes not from enemies necessarily actively pursuing you, so much as you accidentally falling into them.
Double frenzy.
It's sort of like a platformer in where the failure comes not from like in a lot of platformers, enemies exist, but they are usually not what kills you. It's the bottomless pit that kills you, because it's usually a failure on the player's inability to platform that causes you to fail. In this regard, it is the player's inability to avoid the large fish that causes them to fail, rather than the fish actually actively pursuing you. Like, the AI for the fish is pretty passive. They just kind of swim around because they're fish. But at the same time, they are legitimate threats because they're obstacles. Like, you can still run into jellyfish like that and get hurt. And it's interesting to see how, like, something that doesn't necessarily directly pursue or want, or like, not want isn't the right word, but it's like attempts to harm you, can still be a legitimate threat. Like, what was I supposed to do there? Outside of, I don't know, be better. This ability's, like, the suck ability is good, but it's also, like, incredibly risky to the point where it's almost not worth using. Like,
Feeding frenzy.
feed La Frenzy. Something that I had meant to bring up earlier, but I legitimately just forgotten about, was like, I had taken a short, like, couple-day break from streaming because, I wanted to get my sleep schedule back on track, because I had realized during the Diner Dash stream that I was streaming at, like, 11 o'clock my time, and the stream ended at, like, 3 a.m. And while I'm not super concerned about how many people watch this, I do want like people to be able to watch it live. So I thought, like, you know, maybe it would be better if I streamed at a time where people were actually awake. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get my sleep schedule back on track, so I can stream this at like a reasonable hour. And I was able to do that, but it took a few days to kind of get myself all out of whack. The Midnight Zone. Prepare yourself for a trip into the deepest and darkest realms of the ocean. No sunlight can reach the waters of the Midnight Zone. Here below 3,000 feet, the water is cold and pitch dark. Eddie will have to use her bioluminescent lure to light the way. Even with her handy light, Eddie's visibility is limited here in the deep. Eat the glowing plankton to help recharge your lure so you can see better in the dark. If you spot a light bulb power up, be sure to grab it. It will give you an even bigger light boost. I can see how this creates added difficulty.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Shoot.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I've died a lot, but we keep getting through. I think this is like the fundamental difference between this and Diner Dash. I can fail, but still make it. And that I appreciate. From a streaming perspective, the ability to fail my way upwards is really appreciated. Midnight Snack, bonus stage. Oh no, I gotta search for this thing.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Triple frenzy.
Super frenzy.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I guess there really is like a limited amount of enemies on those stages, which is why the bugs got so scarce on the bug one. Deep sea discovery, catching up with danger. After that tasty snack, it's time to get back to business. Even elusive sea creatures have to eat, so it's time. So let's pay a visit to one of our few feeding spots here in the Midnight Zone. A deep sea vent warms up the water around here, making it a popular spot for predators and their prey. Perhaps our quarry made a stop here for some food. Watch yourself and try to keep the lights on. Keep the lights on. The light is coming on from inside the house.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
I played myself.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I think there's like one of these fish later that lets you eat jellyfish. That was another thing that like casual games really like to do. They like to introduce a problem like jellyfish and then later on be like, well now we give you the solution to that problem. It's like this wasn't a problem until you introduced it. Like it's
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
It's like in Plants vs. Zombies where they're like, oh, we don't, it's like when you go to the roof or the pool in Plants vs. Zombies and they're like, oh, well, now you have to deal with the pool, but don't worry, we're gonna give you lily pads to deal with the pool as a problem. And it's like, well, this wasn't an issue until you introduced it. It's like, and that's fine, because it's, you know, it's there to give you up the gameplay and stuff like that. But it's just, it's kind of funny to be like, a lot of the times the solutions presented in the game are not necessarily direct upgrades, but just like solutions to problems presented by the game. Tuna can swim up to 50 miles per hour. Speaking of tuna, catch that fish, as Eddie only caught a brief glimpse of the peculiar predator. I didn't read that right. He was heading towards Buccaneer Bay, while the waters are too shallow for deep sea dweller like Eddie. I didn't read that again. My SAT scores are a joke. Anyway, like, how did I pass? Anyway, it's time to pass the torch on to a new hero, Peter the Pompano. I could have sworn he was a tuna. Peter is more familiar with the perilous waters of Buccaneer Bay, a graveyard of pirate ships that some say is still haunted. Look out for some strange new creatures in this region. Rumor has it that some squid-like cuttlefish have taken up residence for these eerie waters. It is kind of odd that you're like... Oh, I think I remember this. You can eat cuttlefish, but only from the back. And if you eat them from the front, they disorient you and mess up your controls.
Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
It's also interesting that they reuse this model from an enemy, and they're like, you can play as him now. You know, in case you wanted to.
Mega frenzy.
In case you wanted to play, it's like, hey, if you ever wanted to play as NPC number 6, now you can.
Mega
yeah, you can eat this in the
frenzy.
back. I remember a little bit from this game. I haven't been using the dash very much.
Triple frenzy.
Maybe I should.
Triple frenzy.
And then again, I've gotten this far.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Super Frenzy, Mega Frenzy, Ultra Combo!
Mega frenzy.
Did I die?
Super frenzy.
I guess I didn't die. I thought I had died at some point. Many butterfly fish have dark vertical bands across their eyes and large dark spots on their bodies or rear fins. This coloring confuses predators by making it hard to tell the fish's head from its tail. Those creepy looking creatures are cuttlefish. They aren't very big, but they sure are skittish. Or should I say, squiddish? Cuttlefish have a squid-like defense mechanisms to fend off the predators. It's interesting that they give us this tutorial like after we've already been introduced to them. Like, I don't think the player... I think the player has probably already figured out at this point what the cuttlefish does on their own. Like...
Double frenzy.
You could probably just leave in a tip that's like, hey, you can eat them from the back if they still haven't figured it out or something like that.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
It's compelling despite its simplicity.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Try to avoid eating landmines. They're a little
Mega
spicy.
frenzy.
The butterfly fish finds its food at the water's surface. It can even use its large pectoral fins to leap out of the water and catch insects. First Fury, an old favorite, returns. Tired of avoiding all those predators to reach your pint-sized prey? Try grabbing a Feeding Fury power-up, now available at your local Walmart. Eat one of these and you'll go on a feeding rampage, zipping around the screen and eating everything in sight, as long as it's smaller than you. Tastes great and saves you time. I guess this must have been in the first game as well.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Well, that wasn't worth it.
Mega frenzy.
Even for the extremely low opportunity cost. That wasn't worth
Mega
it.
frenzy. Mega
That was worth
frenzy.
it. That was worth a long while. Man, this game really likes to take away my mermaid
Feeding
privileges.
frenzy.
Much like the southern United States.
Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
I ate the
Super
barracuda.
frenzy.
I don't really feel like it was worth it, but I did it.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not excited about the cuttlefish as a mechanic.
Mega frenzy.
Like, the jellyfish are annoying, but they are dealable. I can deal with them. But I've got an inkling that this is not good. I did get a barracuda bonus, though. African papano are not papano at all, but are in a completely separate genus that includes fish known as jacks. However, juvenile African papano look a lot like true papano, and both fish are the same family, Carindinidae. Bonus, oh boy. On the backside of Pirate Island, there seems to be fewer sunken ships. Human treasure hunters have been through here, and it looks like they left behind some nasty mines to ward off their competition. A school of minnows is lost in this maze of mines, which means it's time for some bonus stage action. Let's try not to explode.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega Frenzy. Mega Frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
I hit an invisible mine. I don't know what to tell. Ugh, whatever. Trouble in paradise, my friend. It looks like all those mines and sunken ships are starting to pollute the ecosystem. Yeah, maybe a little. Some of those poor minnows seem to be affected by an illness that turns all their scales a nasty shade of green. Yuck. Yuck. He died. One thing's for sure, they definitely don't look appetizing.
Eating Frenzy.
Oh, I remember the
Double Frenzy.
I remember it.
Triple Frenzy.
Man, I can't wait for them to introduce both cuttlefish and poison minnows at the same time. It's gonna be the worst. It reverses your controls, which means in theory I can...
Double Frenzy. Triple Frenzy.
In theory I can learn to work around it. You know, like learning how to use inverted controls.
Super Frenzy. Mega Frenzy.
In theory.
Eating Frenzy.
Feeding. Frenzy.
Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Double Frenzy.
Oh my god. This is the worst. They'll come out of like the bottom of the screen where I can't see them.
Eating Frenzy. Eating Frenzy. Triple Frenzy.
This does motivate me to stop polluting though. If anything, to stop having to eat these. I don't actually like seafood, like, at all. It just is, it's very... The seafood just has a very slimy texture that I just cannot get over. And I've never liked the smell of fish in any capacity. Even like if it's like shellfish. I'm usually fine with like any other kind of meat. I don't like fish though. It's weird to, it's just kind of slimy. I don't know. If I was meant to eat food from the sea, I would have been given gills, you know. Leopard sharks are not a danger to humans. There is only a single report of a leopard shark incident in the International Shark Attack file, and no bite was involved. How did he do it then? Wrath of Cod. It's easy to make mistakes while your fish is poisoned. When you swallow a poison minnow, don't panic. Try to avoid moving around too much and tap the left mouse button to shake off the effects as quickly as possible. Okay, so don't panic. Just rapidly click and panic.
Eating Frenzy. Eating Frenzy. Eating Frenzy. Double Frenzy. Double Frenzy.
Oh, I got you.
Double frenzy.
Interesting choice of wind chimes to demonstrate pearls? I don't know what kind of sound effect you put on the
Double
pearls.
frenzy.
Wind chimes is an interesting choice. Bleh.
Super frenzy. Mega
There is definitely
frenzy.
something compelling to like spending most of the level kind of running around, feeling tiny, and then at the end going on like a sort of victory lap
Mega
to
frenzy.
eat up all the going on a little victory lap at the end and
Super
eating all the
frenzy.
big fish that chased you around the whole time.
Mega frenzy.
Despite their delicate appearance, pufferfish have bony mouth plates that help crunch up shellfish, crabs, and any other creatures that end up in their mouths. Bony mouth plates is going to be my new porno name. Barracuda Battle. Bonus stage. Look for shieldfish power-ups to help you through the tough stage. Eat one of these and you'll get a sparkly guardian fish escort. When a predator gets close, he'll go after the escort instead of you. Eat 3 barracuda in 2 minutes. Oh boy, that sounds a lot more challenging than any of the other bonus stages we've been through so far. Trying to adjust the hitbox. Yeah, no. It's... I don't know. Maybe I need to go back and do some of these stages later. I've only really failed on bonus stages so far, though. So I guess it's not a huge deal. Looney Lures. So... this is a distraction for larger predators, it would seem like.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
I was going to ask what the purpose of
Mega
that was,
frenzy.
but it occurs to me now that it largely takes them all off screen, for at least a little bit.
Mega frenzy.
Blech.
Mega frenzy.
This song reminds me of like something I'd hear in a cave in RuneScape. Even though I don't think it's like
Mega
MIDI.
frenzy.
It probably is MIDI, considering the time period and the resources available. But
Mega frenzy.
I don't know, it just has that sort of weird, ooh, we're in danger in a cave vibe. Nice. Do you like my breathing? I'm sorry. I have a good mic. I just don't know how to use it. Only female deep-sea anglerfish sport a luminous fishing lure on their tops. Wrestle Reef. Once again, we get to play as a fish that we have already eaten before. I hope he doesn't have any hard feelings about it. Time to another hero to take over, as our mystery creature leads us to Wrasse Reef. The marlin and sharks in these waters can be pretty mean, and Harry the Humphead Wrasse is perfect for the job. Harry is a native of these parts, and more importantly, he's bigger than our buddy Peter. So in this particular level, I believe, I remember liking this guy too, also because he was green.
Feeding frenzy.
Whoop.
Feeding frenzy.
Remember on like levels with bugs, you stay towards the surface for most of it, because that's a pretty constant source of food.
Double frenzy.
Oh cool, I got to the next stage just as I died, so...
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Oh. Rough times at Ridgemont High, it would seem.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Is it just me, or does this Humphead Wrasse have like a really weird face? Like, it almost has a very human face for a fish. Like... If all these big fish weren't enough to worry about, now a flock of pelicans has taken notice of all the activity on the reef, and they've decided to drop in for a bite. So yeah, it's tempting to stay towards the surface, but now you gotta look out for these guys too.
Feeding frenzy.
But I mean, like, just take a look at this Humphead Wrasse's face, and tell me it doesn't kind of look human. Like, it kind of looks like he has a mustache, almost, even. Like a big chin and a mustache.
Frenzy.
I don't know what Humphead Wrasse actually look like, maybe I should look it up later. But...
Super frenzy.
I don't think they have human faces, or at least I would hope they do not.
Mega frenzy.
Maybe they're that kind of fish that has like human teeth or something. Have you ever seen that? It's like the image of the...
Mega frenzy.
The image of like the fish with human teeth. It's pretty cursed.
Mega frenzy.
Here's some fun fish facts. The barnacle has the largest penis out of any creature on the planet relative to its overall mass. This is because barnacles are stationary, and if they want to inseminate another barnacle...
Mega frenzy.
Nichijou art has been delivered. Thank you, John. I will see to it immediately. This is because if barnacles want to inseminate another female barnacle, and they cannot move, they have to have an incredibly long penis in order to reach over and do it. Starfish, when they eat, do so by digesting their prey inside out. They literally like vomit up their digestive juices onto another creature and then eat it. because I do not believe they have an internal digestive system, so they just vomit out the acids right onto the prey. Pretty nasty. When inflated, a pufferfish's stomach increases to nearly 100 times its original volume. Who invited them to the party? The warm current has washed a smack of jellyfish into the reef. This level sounds fun.
Eating frenzy.
Alright. It had to happen eventually.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy.
That is the huge risk with jumping out of the water.
Triple
You
frenzy.
can just land into directly somebody's mouth, and
Super
there's
frenzy.
naught you can do about it. Like,
Super frenzy. Super frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
behold my legion of sacrifice fish. My rainbow trout, my sacrifices to the fish gods.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
This isn't even like an abnormal amount of jellyfish, all things considered.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I think you can eat the pelicans above a certain fish size, but I do not remember. Thinking about it now, the leopard shark is also known as the cat shark on account of the fact it looks like a shark. I think there was another game that was kind of like this. I don't think it was Man-Eater, but it was another game where you played as a shark and you kind of jumped out of the water and ate people, or something like that. It was kind of similar to this, except you were a shark and ate people as opposed to eating other fish. On our way out to deeper waters, we find this tempting mass of munchies. There's a huge school of quick-moving minnows and a swarm of mayflies out here for your bonus chomping pleasure. Imagine a regular fish snipping a big bird. It's happened occasionally. Fish do eat birds sometimes, albeit it's kind of rare. Sharkageddon, something like that. Sharkageddon.
Triple frenzy.
It was a fun game. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the
Mega
thing.
frenzy.
It's like, if this game was made today, it would be a fun game. 100%. Like,
Mega frenzy.
because this game is like a... You could unlock the Megalodon. I guess so, but if you're a shark that's like jumping up and eating people, you're pretty much already the Megalodon at that point.
Mega
Like,
frenzy. Super frenzy. Super frenzy.
me describing what Teen Titans is kind of like. Teen Titans is kind of super frenzy. There we go. I like to believe that somebody remembered this game when making, like, Sharkageddon or whatever it was called. There was, like, a period of time where shark games were, like, weirdly popular, and then it fell out. Like, I remember Maneater was big for a little bit. But like I was saying, if this game was made today, it would 100% be a phone game. I think it's just a little too simple, and also it's graphically low intensity enough that you could just put it on a phone, and you could earn so much more money, because like the phone it's a computer that everybody has. Like, more people own phones than computers. So in this level, they introduced pufferfish, which are kind of like squids in the sense that they are this thing that you can eat at the very beginning, so long as you don't eat them while they're inflated. Alright, I take back what I said earlier
Feeding
about
frenzy. Double frenzy.
that looks like a tuna. A ton of fun. Ugh.
Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy.
I definitely say that
Triple frenzy.
the pufferfish are a lot less hazardous to my health than the cuttlefish were. I really want to play Feeding Frenzy now. Well, it's $5 on Steam. This game's from like 2006. It's not. The advantage of like old games like these is that they are old, so they're pretty cheap, and you can run them on a kaleidoscope. So the downside is that they're not especially complicated and they're pretty short. Like, looking on it, I'm probably gonna beat this game in one stream. I think that was like part of the reason why games were like, there were a lot of reasons why games were hard back in the day. Part of it came from like coming from an arcade mentality where you had to make the game hard to get as much quarters out of the machine as possible. But also, like, another reason was if you didn't make the game hard, you'd have a 2-hour game. Like, speedrunning Super Mario Brothers is so easy. You can, well, not like speedrunning it, but you can beat Super Mario Brothers for the NES very quickly. Simply because that game is not very long once you actually can play it well. So you have to make the game pretty challenging in order to extend the gameplay, even if arbitrarily. And the issue with games like this, which are kind of easy, is they're fun to be sure, but they can be kind of short-lived as a result. So if it doesn't necessarily have a lot of content behind it, you will kind of get it all through in one go. And I think that's part of the reason why back in the day, a lot of games which didn't necessarily have a lot of memory to have a lot of game on it would be really difficult, so that way you could continue to play it even though there wasn't a whole lot of games. Like, when I think of games like Ninja Gaiden, or like Battletoads or something like that, those games are really hard, but I think maybe the reason why they did that is because, like, they couldn't fit a lot of that game onto the cartridge. So they had to make it hard, so that way you could keep playing it and not feel like you got ripped off for like $60 for a 2-hour experience. Because if you did it all perfectly, you can beat that game in like, I don't know, half an hour, maybe? I don't know, like... The trouble with tuna. So there promises to be a lot of tuna on this level. Too much tuna is literally a problem that does not exist in the real world. Overfishing has caused the tuna population to massively plummet. This is how we can tell this is a fake video game.
Double frenzy.
Okay. That's my greed right there.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy.
I've never played Stubbs the Zombie. I remember when advertisements for Stubbs the Zombie was on like television. That's how old I am.
Eating frenzy.
I might want... It feels like in the same vein as Destroy All Humans. Like one of those weird kind of dark humor, just kind of destroy things kind of games. If it was really released on Steam, I might be interested in like trying it out, because I've never played a game like that. One of those weird like nihilistic Destroy All Humans types games that's kind of like
Super frenzy.
goofy and graphic.
Super frenzy.
But no, I didn't play it on like... if it was like on the Xbox or PlayStation, I probably didn't play it growing
Mega
up,
frenzy.
because I pretty much owned exclusively Nintendo consoles and PC.
Mega frenzy.
It is on Steam. Well, I have been looking for games to play, so that might be worth looking into. Thanks for the suggestion. Bouncy bonus. Oh, this doesn't seem like fun.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Humor is a bit dated, but I still have fun with it. I mean, that's kind of like how a lot of games end up becoming. I
Super
don't know.
frenzy.
I think a lot about Postal 2 as a video game. A lot of people like that game still.
Mega frenzy.
I think it's very dated.
Mega frenzy.
I think that like a lot of things just end up becoming extremely
Super
dated,
frenzy.
no matter how hard you try. Time moves ever forward, no matter what. Oh, I'm gonna run out of time. Where's the last one? Where's the... I puffed up. I really puffed up. Cavern Carnage. After that tiny, tasty bonus, We reach the caves on the border of Shark-Tooth Ridge. Dangerous leopard sharks sometimes patrol this area in search of easy prey. Postal 2 is like a different breed of dated humor. I guess that's right, in the sense that, I don't know, Postal 2 is like a whole thing of its own. I think it's like maybe worth talking about on a different date. Like maybe I should play it to like really take a look at it. Because it feels like it wants to be edgy but also not have a point. Like it's like, I don't know. Like, it feels like it wants to be the rebel without a cause sort of thing. Like, it wants to be against something, but doesn't know what it's against. I don't know. I feel like I would have more conclusive and coherent thoughts about it if I, like, really played it through and, like, kind of gathered some thoughts about it. Anyway. Last stage before the next fish.
Feeding frenzy.
I guess these are supposed to be like Shaw stages, but they don't feel
Double
Shaw
frenzy.
stages.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I said there was supposed to be a lot of sharks here, and I haven't seen I haven't seen that many. Alright, well, as soon as I say that, as soon as I say, oh, there's no sharks here, it becomes like, Discovery Channel Shark Week! The only reason you've ever watched Discovery Channel outside of to watch animals have sex.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
We're going to see a shadow pass by. Oh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good on that background. I guess in the other backgrounds they kind of like faded it back to make it seem like he was like really in the background, but here it's just it just transparently looks like a shadow being overlaid onto like the PNG. One of the best spots to see a great white shark is a channel called Discovery Channel this week on Shark Week off the coast of South Africa known as Shark Alley. So, what it was leading up to with the shark level and that fact is that you get to play as a shark now. Very cool. Meet Goliath. Time to pull out the big fish. Meet Goliath, the great white shark. He's not the biggest shark in the rage, but with your help, he will be. If anyone can catch up with that beastly shadow in open waters, it's him. Human hideout. Shark-Tooth Ridge is home to a sort of undersea human lab. None of the sea life bothers much about what's going on at the lab. The ocean is big enough for both man and fish god.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
Seems like we got some shark action in after all. The primary disadvantage, I think, now is that we don't get a lot of small schools of fish. We just gotta deal with a lot of individuals.
Feeding frenzy.
Alright. Okay, there's like 10 orcas here. I don't know what to tell you. It's like Free Willy and Shamu. All sorry, my vocal cords fell down a flight of stairs. This place has more Free Willies than like a nudist convention.
Feeding frenzy.
The magnetism from the mouths is becoming very noticeable. Yeah, this game has a slight issue where, like, in order to get you to eat things and for other people to eat things, it will kind of magnetize you to particular
Feeding frenzy.
fish. And sometimes it's more noticeable
Double
than not.
frenzy.
It seems to be mostly a fault of a, like, poor animation thing. Or, like, limited animation. I want to give this game the benefit of the doubt because it's fun, and also because I know this game was probably made on a shoestring budget.
Triple frenzy.
Because it is a casual game from the 2000s.
Super
Like,
frenzy. Mega frenzy.
remember kids, you too can rise in the food chain so long as you are willing to destroy all the competition. Can we make a feeding frenzy Danmaku? I don't know what that is. You have earned the rank of Flounder Pounder. Phrasing. Fishy foreshadowing. What's happened to the sea lab? Something has come through and wreaked havoc on the lab. Could it be related to all these shipwrecks? There's something in the water. And what does this shadowy creature have to do with any of this? Danmaku is a bullet hell game. Oh, so just this, but harder. Okay.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
This is kind of like, I guess you could call it Bobby's first, like, baby's first bullet hell. Like, it's effectively largely about avoiding things. Like,
Double frenzy.
maybe someone should go to, like, the Toho wiki and, like, graffiti feeding frenzy on there and be like...
Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
What a time to get an extra life.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy.
I can see it now. Fish Toho.
Triple frenzy.
All the bullets are just herring. You have to get through a school of herring. I have no idea what the food bank means. It might be important, it might not be. I think it's just a score system. Poison peril. Kill me. Sharks have spell cards that murder entire schools of fish. The quick-moving schools of tuna here in Sharktooth Ridge make for tasty shark treats, but watch out for schools of toxic minnows. They go into streamers' chats and start posting cringe. Thank you, I'll be here all week. Alright. I do like that they introduced like this high-level enemy, and then later on they're just like the basic thing you eat.
Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Look at me, I'm the industrial fishing system.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Super frenzy. Super frenzy.
I like to think that toxic minnows are toxic. Toxic minnows sends you phishing scams.
Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Toxic minnows always be giving you bait, hoping you'll take it.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Toxic minnows always be fishing for attention. Oh boy. Toxic catfish, you already know the joke. I like that one. Open waters. Bonus time. Sometimes just finding food out here in the open ocean is challenge enough.
Eating frenzy.
The toxic shark will never stop pitching you his MLMs.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Toxic whale, a hardcore gamer
Mega
who's pay to win.
frenzy.
Toxic crab needs to see a gynecologist.
Mega frenzy.
There's like a... My friend sent me an image of like... the like biology of whale.
Mega
It's like...
frenzy.
It was something like... It was like a chart of like... Depending on how much you donate to like... Or not donate, but like how much you spend on like an online game. Depends on like what sea creature you are. Like if you spend $5 or less, you're a goldfish, and if you spend like $5,000 a month, you're like a whale. And it was like $10,000 a month, Poseidon. It's like Leviathan, $100,000 a month. Where is the last tunas? There's one. There we go. I don't know. It's not really my business to tell people how to spend their money. But, I don't know, I stopped paying for microtransactions a long time ago. The last time I spent a lot of money on microtransactions was for like TF2 cosmetics. And that was when I was like, in my teen years. I don't regret it, because at that time it felt important. It doesn't really... I don't think it was something I'd do now, though. It feels really unimportant now. Feed for all! There is a whole ocean of toxic fish jokes we can make, honestly. Yeah, I guess you could say that the world is our oyster. Submarine snacking. It seems like everyone's hungry today. Killer whales, barracudas, John Dories, cuttlefish, and you. All trying to make a living. Swim carefully, or you'll end up as somebody's dinner. Are John Dories like the purple ones? Is that what they're supposed to be? Jean Dory. Definitely sounds Australian.
Double frenzy. Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy.
The most I spent on a game was DBFZ. I'm gonna assume it's Dragon Ball Fighters or something like that.
Double frenzy.
I'm not up with my acronyms because I wanted to play it competitively. I mean, like, I feel it.
Triple frenzy.
When people play games competitively, the range of spending goes up, like, quite a bit. Because at that point, it's very much a bigger dedication.
Eating frenzy.
It's a lot harder to get combos in the late game because of just like how many obstacles are in the way and how much you have to focus on not getting destroyed. Like,
Triple
it's
frenzy.
a fish eat fish world out there. The coral cod is usually found in caves and under ledges. That's probably the least fun fact I've heard so far. Mine, all mine. It's a war out there, it would seem. You're going to need to be careful of high explosives.
Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I don't even want to get to the top of the screen because I know things are just blowing up constantly up there.
Mega frenzy.
Of all the stages to not die on, this
Mega
one.
frenzy.
The queen triggerfish's flamboyant markings help to hide the location of its eyes and conceal the fact that it is a predator. I like to think that the queen triggerfish just plays peekaboo. It hides its eyes and it's like, I'm not a predator! Peekaboo! I don't know where I'm going with that. The humans have stopped dropping their mines, but that doesn't make it easy eating. You'll have to nip with care in order to avoid the surging populations of jellyfish and poison fish that have made it part of this ocean their home. Luckily, there are plenty of power-ups to help you out. Oh dear. They're not going to make this easy on me. It's kind of slim pickings right now. Oh, there's a gold herring in that.
Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy.
My comfort streamer? It's very nice of you to say. You have a very weird way of unwinding. An asymmetrical horror game where everyone is a fish but one man is a fisherman. That's not the worst idea, honestly. Because like a lot of horror games are based on like the prey-predator dynamic. So if you can make that quite literal, that wouldn't be terrible. There it would be kind of odd though, because It'd be kind of interesting to see, like, one person is playing a very relaxing fishing sim, and everyone else is screaming. That would be very funny.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Barracudas have sharp teeth and can shred nearly any fish they catch. It sounds like a really interesting idea for a game. Oh, we actually have to participate in the boss battle now. The plot finally thickens. It only took, like, most of the game. Granted, the plot was not very thick. It's about as thick as a piece of paper. But at least it's something. The sea grows ominously silent. These waters were warm and inviting, yet there are no fish around. Could this be the lair of the mystery fish that's been causing so much trouble? Uh-oh. There's no way to attack that thing directly. Try biting the intruder's tail to get its attention. It's a risky proposition, but maybe you can lure him into a nearby mine and find some sort of weakness. Prevail against the alien intruder. It's literally an alien. I don't know what I was expecting. I was not expecting literal aliens. Like... okay. Maybe I need to, like, actually turn on the brain here for a second. I don't know, I've been having a very nice time casually relaxing. So, like, maybe it's time to actually turn on the brain for a second here. And not just immediately run into his mouth. Yellow boxfish have strong teeth that grow continuously. When kept in an aquarium, they need to be given hard-shelled food to keep their teeth worn down. So I guess we're chasing Senor Greenman right now. For all fish kind, Goliath the Great White took alien intruder down a peg. Now it's Harry the Humphead's turn to chase him down into shallower waters. But there are fat lionfish and John Dory's crowding these waters, and they're too hungry to care about your mission. Avoid them at all costs. Ah, so we return to this guy again.
Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy.
That one sound effect, sound effect, with the mushrooms turning everything small, it sounds especially man-made, in the sense that it literally sounds like a guy going shh 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 into a mic. Like,
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy.
I didn't even see what happened. I saw what happened that time.
Eating frenzy.
We are definitely entering the later stages of the game where things get hard.
Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
See you, John. Have a good one.
Mega frenzy.
Well, shoot. I done plumb messed up.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Lionized me. I remember my dad used to have an aquarium. He used to be really good at taking care of tropical fish, even though I heard that it's, like, pretty difficult to take care of tropical fish because they have all these, like, high maintenance standards. They used to be, like, very colorful. You know, the kind of, like... He used to have, like, those fish that... Cuttlefish. It's what's for dinner. He used to have, like, imagine the kind of, like, thing you would see in a dentist's office. An aquarium you'd see in a dentist's office. That's pretty much what he had. Like... I imagine they were difficult to take care of, but he had them. They were pretty while we had them. This level is going to prove to be kind of annoying. since our only food options are cuttlefish and nothing else. I can still kind of move with the dash, but like it's, you know. Alright. I'm getting a little big for my bridges there. I think eating the barracuda would really help out, but at the same time it's such a giant risk. I don't want to do it. And I also am getting low on lives, which again is a weird thing to even think about in this day and age where lives are just such a non-existent concept in video games. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. I want to say it'll be mostly smooth sailing once we get bigger.
Eating frenzy.
I wonder what the high score for this level is. I can't imagine it has like a very good combo. There's gotta be people who were like amazing at this game. Anytime I think like, oh, there's no way anybody could be good at this, there's somebody who's like a god at it. Like, and I do remember like my aunt and my mom's friends in particular who used to play all these casual games, they used to be so good at them. Like, crazy, amazing good for some reason. Like, and they didn't even play regular video games. Casual games in particular, they used to be so amazing at. Alright. Did I not lose a life from that?
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy.
The humphead wrasse is also known as the Napoleon wrasse, because he's had Napoleon's face transplanted onto his front, apparently. From Deepest Night. Oh, we're doing another boss battle. The other fish in deep sea life have fled this area, sensing danger. That can only mean one thing: the mysterious intruder is near. The intruder from the stars has learned of Finn's battle of Goliath with Great White Shark. It picked up a couple of new tricks that will make it even more difficult to defeat. Swim carefully. Oh, he be sucking. If I go vertically, it shouldn't be a problem. How did I do so bad with the boss the first time? He even caught me in his trap that time and I didn't lose. How did I do so bad the first time? I don't like that face that the humphead wrasse is making. While young, leopard sharks live in shallow waters, wherein their leopard shard spots offer good camouflage. When they grow large enough, they live in deep water and their spots disappear. Lots to eat. Oh, so are we like going backwards through all of the fish until we get to like the small one? And this alien fish can be eaten by like a small fish? I don't understand the plot reason why we have to do that. Like, why we have to do that. Is it just because he needs to be in an incredibly shallow space where he can't escape? Is that like the plot reason? It's a game about eating fish. It doesn't matter that much. I suppose it's just so we have more levels. That makes sense. The intruder fled from Harry the Humphead's persistent attacks. Now it's up to Peter the Pompano to pursue the... That's a lot of P's. To the unearthly foe ever closer to land. Tasty herring are plentiful in these waters, but so are hungry marlins and leopard sharks, as well as those pesky poison fish. Jump for bugs, and watch out for pelicans.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy.
Man, I got wrecked. Would you like to continue? Yes. There's a continue system in this game? Man, I got wrecked a second time. I don't like being near the surface.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Triple frenzy.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
It does feel nice to build combos.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Oh, I forgot I didn't die because I have, like, things that keep me from dying.
Mega frenzy.
Okay. That was a little better. It worries me that I have continues. Like, am I gonna have to start the entire game over? Maybe I won't beat the game in one stream. The coral cod is often confused with the tomato trout and the vegetable... and the Brussels barnacle, but the two fish, however, differently shaped tails. Rifo relaxo. What a nice day. Leopard sharks, marlins, pompanos, there sure are a lot of fish out enjoying the warm shallows today. Happily, the poison minnows have moved on, but a party of pufferfish has taken their place. You know what? I'll take the pufferfish over the poison minnows any day. That being said,
Feeding frenzy.
I didn't learn anything. I don't want to go near the surface. In terms of, like, game progression, there are some games that, like,
Feeding frenzy.
it's weird to see games. I don't know if it's weird, but like it's uncommon to see games that get easier as a level progresses, or like things proceed. Because sometimes in like an RPG or something like that, as a character gains more abilities and has more options, for instance, the game becomes easier simply because even though the enemies are advancing with their abilities as well, you simply have more options as to what you are capable of doing, and this makes the game easier. For instance, the range of movement that I am allowed to participate in here increases greatly as I increase in size, and know that I can, you know, move left or right or up or down because my size allows for it. Like, my path isn't blocked by a predator that would just eat me on sight, because I'm big enough to take them on. But at the beginning, my pathways are very limited. It's not like I'm getting smaller as the level progresses, and it gets progressively more difficult, it gets progressively easier. Which is much more in line with the progression check of like an RPG or a strategy game than it is a, I don't know, any other type of game where it usually gets harder as it goes on. Now granted, the game as a whole has gotten more difficult.
Double frenzy.
But the moment-to-moment overall level gameplay has not, is what I would say. And it's not a bad way to progress, I feel. The difficulty upscaling is still there. But no, I can't eat the pelican. But I don't think it can eat me at that size. But it is interesting. There's like a strategy game called Valkyria Chronicles where you kind of get rewarded for playing the game well with better upgrades. So even though the game is kind of supposed to get harder as it progresses, it can theoretically get easier as it progresses if you just play it really well. That's a game I should maybe try playing on stream sometime. It's kind of long though and has a lot of cutscenes, so I want to wait till I'm a little more confident. The spoiler. Where have all the fish gone? Is it a sign of another intruder attack? Luckily, Peter the Pompano is full and rested, ready to face the challenge. Challenge this intruder to single combat. Oh, and the pelican will take a bite too. That's useful. I suppose this fight is fine, but it is becoming a little repetitive. Barracudas often hunt in packs and can be found in schools of several thousand. Like, the fight itself is fine. Peter's triumph over the intruder has saved the day, but what about the night? With the moonrise, the chase becomes more dangerous. It falls to Eddie the anglerfish to seek out the unnatural being in the darkening waters.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Triple.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
That was a lot easier.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
His jaw gyrates in an interesting way. I have to say. Midnight snacking. Anglerfish need a lot to keep going before they can feed all night long. Oh, and they can feed all night long. The boxfish have caught on to your munching habits. However, they're also a bit more so there's use your dash ability to catch up to them.
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
It looks like they're not in schools anymore. School's out for
Mega
the summer,
frenzy.
aren't you, boxfish?
Mega frenzy.
School's out for the summer. School's out forever.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Well, damn.
Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Super friends. It's very dark. Oh, Barracuda jump scare.
Mega frenzy.
Contrary to the beliefs of this game, I believe barracudas largely exist in rivers rather than the ocean. A male anglerfish attaches himself to a female and lives as a parasite for the rest of his life. That's just marriage, am I right, ladies and gentlemen? Boy. Chicken of the sea? It looks like the intruder's afraid of the dark, or maybe it's just afraid of eating. Either way, that means it's time for another glorious bonus stage. Grab as many stars as you can in a limited time.
Eating frenzy.
Chicken?
Eating frenzy.
Stars in the sea or chicken? I wonder what a starfish tastes like. from the way a starfish felt from when I touched it. It felt really spiny and terrible. Nothing against starfish, I just don't think they would be especially edible.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy.
It kind of feels like there's a bit of a missing texture on this star. I could be wrong though.
Mega frenzy.
This has definitely gone over 2 minutes.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
So, I hope you can't hear my dogs barking in the background. They'll sort of bark at anything. They'll sort of bark at anything. It's kind of atrocious. Well, that sucks. It was very close, but I guess it didn't matter. If they don't spawn stars, I can't eat them. I said, moving far away from the mic for some reason. Mix it up. The intruder has made its way into warmer waters, and it's up to Layla the Queen Triggerfish to chase it down. But first she has to bulk up to the challenge. The ocean is crowded but unusually deep. In this area, so she should have plenty of room to avoid predators. Eat, grow, repeat. That is the mantra of this game. It is super deep in this area, wow.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy.
What I would say,
Triple frenzy.
I hope you
Super
didn't hear my
frenzy.
dogs. They're very loud and they bark very frivolously at anything. My mic is pretty good at not
Mega
picking up
frenzy.
background noises for the most part, but I'm not really sure. I'm not quite looking at the audio capture right now. That was also one of my concerns with... That was one of the advantages of streaming like at 11 a.m.
Mega
when the dogs were
frenzy.
asleep. So they couldn't scream. It can be hard to hear
Mega
yourself think when
frenzy.
the dogs are barking at thin air. My house got robbed
Super
once.
frenzy.
I can guarantee you the dogs weren't barking at that.
Super
But if there's
frenzy.
like, you know, a stray air particle outside, dogs will bark at that. They'll make sure that we're well warned of,
Mega
you know, the
frenzy.
existence of a stray animal. Or one of our neighbors, you know? Someone they've seen literally thousands of times.
Mega frenzy.
The animal kingdom is a beautiful thing. One of
Mega frenzy.
the most intelligent creatures on the planet, to be sure.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy.
Triple frenzy.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Man! I get magnet mouth. Alright. I don't like going this fast. I take up like a fifth of the screen. I have to be super cautious because if I just move too fast, I'll just get eaten by an off-screen window or something.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Like, you know that.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Butterfly fish usually travel alone or in pairs. They have a very limited range and do not stray far from their homes. I feel it. I relate. Tricky treats. She works hard for the money? What kind of tag is that? Like, alright. Someone at PopCap was having a weird day. Oh boy, we're gonna be here a while.
Eating frenzy. Eating frenzy.
Predators everywhere. It's like a pedophilia joke. I don't feel good about that one. I feel like pedophilia is a low-hanging fruit when it comes to comedy. Oh boy. Fuck! It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have to be so patient on this level, but I really do have to be like incredibly fucking patient. Patient and calculated here.
Eating frenzy.
Alright. It's not alright.
Eating frenzy.
close right now to where I need to be. Okay.
Feeding frenzy.
Carefully now.
Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
I really do not see the speed upgrade as a good thing right now.
Double frenzy.
That's an improvement.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Yeah, I mean, what did I expect to happen?
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Double frenzy.
Okay. Reading my inputs, turning around AI shit. The fun thing is I'm not even gonna be able to eat those orcas, like, ever.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Slowly, slowly.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Super frenzy.
Well, I want to cut it back to the moment when I said, man, I can't wait for them to introduce poison fish and cuttlefish at the same time. Oh boy. Was I right when I said I wasn't going to like it?
Feeding frenzy.
Yes, I'd like to continue.
Feeding frenzy.
Okay. Kick me while I'm down, why don't you?
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
I'm okay with having to, like, start over, but I just want to beat this level.
Triple frenzy.
This is the worst. This is not a fun difficult, this is a difficult.
Feeding frenzy.
Yeah, I guess I can just stay still until something comes to me.
Double frenzy.
Okay, well, that's one stage beaten. I sure hope that when I lose all my lives, I don't just have to repeat the entire game again. One of the deadliest jellyfish on Earth is the Urakandi jelly, which is only 2 centimeters across but can kill a human being with its sting. Well, makes me feel more secure knowing that exists. Layla steps up. Oh boy, it has poison boys around it. Fish rank greedy gobbler. Pull the trigger. Okay. Nah. Alright. That was unfortunate, but let's finish this game. Let's not get disheartened right at the end. It's tough because it's close to the end. Naturally, it's going to be hard. There we go. And not a life lost to show for it. The simple-looking brain coral extends hundreds of stinging tentacles at night to catch small prey. Back to Boris, the original hero. Uh-oh, Layla the Queen Triggerfish did her part, but the shrunken intruder got away. The alien creature is down, but not out. Even now it prepares for its spawning cycle. If it succeeds, it will release billions of microspores to infect all the world's oceans. It'll be a disaster. Can you imagine how ugly it'll look? Can Earth be saved? Is there anyone who can help? Luckily, the world has a champion, a hero who will fight and defend the seas. His name? Boris the butterfly fish. That is a very unlikely hero. I don't know why we couldn't get the shark to do this. He seems way more qualified, all things considered.
Feeding frenzy.
Oh, this is gonna be a doozy.
Feeding frenzy. Double
So I
frenzy.
really have no choice but eat the bugs, huh? This is what I've been reduced to.
Double frenzy.
The hero of the ocean, eating insects.
Triple frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
I guess there is no shortage of combos to be had.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
Well, I did all I could do. Well, I did all I could do.
Feeding frenzy. Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
This is basically how an ecology works. Things eat other things until something else
Mega
gets eaten.
frenzy.
And then something wrecks that thing.
Mega
Usually a
frenzy.
man-made thing.
Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
It could have been worse. It's a madhouse. All living things sense the danger. That's my life. Objective survive. Very close now. The approach of the intruder spawning cycle has driven local fish life into a frenzy. Barracudas pace angrily back and forth as sharks are drawn from far across the ocean, not knowing why. You'll have to be brave and nimble to survive these turbulent waters. Remember, you're most vulnerable when you're small. Save the heroics for when you got some muscle mass. Play it safe early on. Alright, alright. Looks like we're playing survival horror mode right now.
Feeding frenzy. Double frenzy.
Okay, okay.
Triple frenzy. Super frenzy.
Okay, okay. Very good, very good.
Mega frenzy. Super frenzy.
Oh god! I couldn't do anything!
Eating frenzy. Double frenzy. Triple frenzy. Super frenzy. Mega frenzy. Mega frenzy.
We really gotta watch out because we're super big and there are sharks and barracudas everywhere.
Mega frenzy.
Oh, okay. Well, not for very long, seemingly. 69 bucks, fish. What a completely normal number. I'm ashamed of myself. Every day of every moment of my life. The African pompano is called the threadfish and the Cuban jack. Monsterific, in which the fate of the planet is decided. The final battle. After a furious swim, Boris discovers the intruder in its lair, surrounded by hypnotized cuttlefish and dazed poison minnows. The infection cycle is only moments away. Can you stop it in time? This boss arena seems like more of a hazard to everybody involved. You know, I think part of this man's failure is constantly showing up in arenas with mines. Like, so truly this was a game about removing one potential apex predator from a line of other pre-established apex predators. Congratulations, you've defeated the intruder and saved the Frenzy Coast from unimaginable danger. The Frenzy Coast has found a new hero. You've earned the special bonus user, click this user in the main menu to try out this cool special feature. I did it. I beat the game, and I am significantly lower in score than the first time I played because I almost beat it the whole time through. Nice. What's this, the intruder. Select. Ah, okay. So it's just a reskin. You can play as the boss if you feel like it. Yeah, it's just a cute feature.
Feeding frenzy.
But yeah, it was Feeding Frenzy. That's the whole game. It wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't very long. I played in a whole stream. But, I mean, it's a casual game.
Double frenzy.
When they're not incredibly hard like Diner
Triple
Dash was for
frenzy.
some reason.
Super frenzy. Mega frenzy.
They're pretty short and easy. But, you know, it was a moment in time. Another time that's kind of both gone forever and still with us in the form of weird phone games. It's kind of weird to have the stream be this short. I thought the game would be longer than this. Ah, well. I guess that about wraps it up, though. Because I didn't have anything else planned other than to play this game. But I guess that's what happens when the game's kind of easy and short. So, I'm going to try and stream tomorrow. I'm going to try and think of something to play. And try to think of something to say also. Because I know I can be quiet. I'm doing my best to get better. I appreciate everybody who came out to watch. And that's it. I'll see you.